Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Martha, this is Lou, and my channel is Preparing for Retirement. And the point of today's video is to talk about our impressions of Thailand. We have been here for a month now. We've been in two locations, Chiang Mai for the majority of the time, and then we did 5 days of Hua Hin. We're actually leaving later today. I also want to go over the costs that we've had here at the end so that you can see how affordable it is here. So let's start.
What, with affordable?
No, let's start with how we feel.
Okay.
So I've not, as of right now, I've not yet finished my my walkthroughs of our accommodations, but you will be getting a look at those. So that's aside. But what do you think about Chiang Mai?
I like Chiang Mai. It's still a city, so it's got its, well, there's a lot to see, a lot to do, but it's a lot more crowded, and so you see a lot of people. And but I like Chiang Mai as far as a city goes. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to be bored.
No. There's tons.
And the people are terribly friendly everywhere.
Very, very nice.
Driving's crazy. It's not as bad as, say, Rome or Orlando or anywhere
in the U.S.
They're very aggressive drivers, but they're very aware. The crazier things to me are the mopeds and the motorcyclists. They go anywhere, anyhow, any speed, and we never saw an accident in the month we were here, and I'm stunned. It's crazy the way they drive. Rome was similar.
Yeah.
But I have to say that everybody's watching out for everybody, and they're driving really all over the place. And I guess it's unnerving because when you're riding in a cab or a Grab or a tuk-tuk, wow.
So they let each other in. They're very kind that way. It's not like a road ragey type thing.
No.
They let each other in. Lines, as in lanes, are a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed that speed limits are a suggestion. Although you really don't see a lot of super speeding. You just see pretty much
more
constant
the motorcycles
speeds.
or the mopeds. I didn't know mopeds could go that fast. They go really fast.
So we did also...
And you could have whole families on a moped.
Yeah.
Mom, dad, baby, and a child in the back.
And belongings.
And
belongings,
it's an impressive... Yeah. And I'd say a good 30% of all the bikes out there are Grab drivers.
Yeah.
They're for food.
To fill you in, so Grab is like our Uber...
so it's like elsewhere. Uber Eats for these guys.
Well, it does transportation, it does grocery pickup and delivery, it does restaurant delivery, and for Grab you can get either a car or you can get a moped or a bike, so a motorbike. So, Grab is kind of all encompassing, but they all wear these green jackets.
Yeah.
And
helmets, gloves, everything.
So you can
and it's 98 degrees up.
Yeah, you can identify them. So
wow.
Yesterday we actually walked to a really cool museum that I'm going to be doing a video on traditional Thai housing, and they had all these houses you could walk through that were very old, but I think we finally were a little bit more comfortable now that we're about to leave in just walking into the crosswalk and trusting the process.
It's unnerving.
Yeah, you can cross.
I mean, in the States, you kind of expect them to stop. And like, Florida in particular, where we were, it's very touristy and the beach is right there. The laws were very blunt. If you see a pedestrian, you let them have the right of way.
Yeah.
It's not that way here. Although if you step out into the road, they will either slow down, go around you, or they do let you pass. And you kind of have to trust that they're paying attention and cross the road. I guess they say Vietnam is like this, but it's unnerving.
Well, so let me elaborate. This is a city. So there are some intersections that have actual crosswalks with the flashing, person that says you can go. There's a few of those. for the most part, you're dealing with crosswalks just in the middle of the road, and the crosswalk is like the magical item. For some reason, like if you start to walk into the crosswalks, you'll start to see them stop.
Yeah.
You will start to see them stop. I don't think that's the case in Vietnam, at least not from what I've heard. But people do.
But it isn't always the case. And the motorcyclists, the
motorcyclists are more likely to go around you.
If you wave an arm by accident, you're going to clip them.
Yeah, even in the crosswalk, the motorcyclists or scooters are more likely to not stop and just go around you. The cars are more likely to stop.
And they'll come pretty close.
You know, honestly, what I've seen, and I had heard this before, and it does seem to be true, that if you just keep your eyes on what you're doing and you just keep a constant speed, and you don't do something
no jerky
erratic,
motion, stop, move faster,
then they go around you. Yeah. They're anticipating your speed.
They're all watching out.
They're all watching. They're excellent drivers, I have
to
say.
It's impressive.
But, you know, so we finally just really did that and stepped out in faith yesterday. And it worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
They go already, but it's terrifying.
It's
I mean, because you'll see them. They don't have the same rules here as far as being on your phone at the same time. If they do, nobody's enforcing it. Because I've seen motorcyclists or moped guys driving down the road looking at their phone.
Yeah.
But and you're in the Grab, you're in the car or a taxi, and they're weaving the bikers. I mean, two cars of guys merging, and they're squeezing in before they finally get over.
Yeah.
You know, I've had motorcycles for a long time, and they're doing things I'd never ever do.
Well,
the idea of maybe getting a bike and renting it and riding around, not here. No.
So there are accidents. I have seen things on expat groups where people have gotten hurt.
We've not seen any.
We haven't seen any personally. I could see how it would happen if you get another person from another culture that has road rules and things like that, and they're on a bike. They're going to be driving a certain way. The Thais seem to handle it just fine.
Yeah.
There is no issue. They don't have a problem with letting somebody in. I mean, yesterday we had an Uber driver.
You kind of don't look and keep going, and they'll let you in.
Yeah, yesterday we had a Grab driver who cut across 3 lanes to drop us off. We're not kidding.
There was no space
on either side.
How he did it.
He just went.
Wow.
And we were like,
This guy could do race car driving. He did it real sudden, just whoop, and there he was.
And he dropped us off, and it was like another day for him. It was no big deal. And he got a kick out of the fact that we were so like, oh my gosh, we're in Grab royalty, you know. He got a kick out of that. But nobody beeped. Nobody was upset in the line that he did.
Out of cars or whatever.
No, nobody was upset. Everyone's just very kind here.
Yeah, I've rarely seen anybody beep at anybody else.
No, if anything, it's like to let you know that you're there.
It was a Westerner on a moped or a bike.
Well, or they let you know that they're there.
Yeah.
You know, they might beep to let you know, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
You know, but it's just a quick, short beep.
Yeah.
But there's no prolonged anger or beeping. So anyway, so that's Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
So Chiang Mai, I thought, was just full of history. You know, you walk down, the first few weeks we stayed in the old city, which was maybe a little bit less modern in the infrastructure. The sidewalks were rougher, although they're still
pretty
rough
everywhere.
But it was definitely older part of the city, and I mean, we loved it there. We thought the people were wonderful. The restaurants were unbelievable, and they were everywhere.
You got backyards that could be.
Yeah, it was just
turned into a restaurant.
It was just incredible. But you know, I loved it, and we would just walk. We would just explore. That's our thing. We just walk, and when you turn down a side alley, and all of a sudden you look in someone's backyard, and there's this giant stone structure. Giant stone temple,
old things.
And you're thinking
really
this
old.
Has to be like, you know, because by this point you've been to a lot of the temples and the Watts and had the tours and read about how old things are, and so you're looking at this and thinking this has to be 1,000 years old, and it's just in somebody's backyard, and all they do is they put a little fence around it, and then they build a new one in front of it to continue worshiping at that site. So it's a bit of a mind bender, I think, for people from newer civilizations like the United States. We don't have that sort of history, frankly. But anyway, so Chiang Mai is just a different vibe altogether. And so then we left for Hua Hin, and that was that's further down. It's a beach town on the east side, right?
Of the Gulf, yeah.
Below
it's the
Bangkok.
Taiwan Gulf.
It's
Gulf
in
of Taiwan, I think it is.
Something, but it's so we stayed there for 5 days, and we didn't.
So that'd be the west side of the Gulf.
Yeah, and we didn't try to stay in a local neighborhood. What we did instead was we picked a local Thai hotel. So it was a resort hotel, and it was super nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And I'll do
Pool,
a review on that
food
also,
there,
but that
staff.
we were very impressed. So, what do you think about Hua Hin?
Hua Hin I like better, mostly because it's the beach town, and plus we were
Beach town.
out of the main city area
Yeah.
by a bit. I mean, I could have actually gotten a moped or rented a motorcycle there and driven around without any big concerns. I would, still be a little nervous because they drive crazy. But you know, it's not like downtown Chiang Mai or even downtown Hua Hin. It's a little crazier there too. So the sidewalks very similar. It's a challenge. It's like an obstacle course, and you have to watch where you're going. You can't just sit on your phone because you might fall into a ditch.
You will kill yourself.
Or
you will kill yourself.
walk
Or
into
you'll
a
hit a
pole or
post.
something.
A live
Steps
wire.
go up and down. Yeah, there's wires. Wires.
It's you
It's
really have
interesting.
to. I mean, I always laugh when I hear that head on a swivel thing, but it's like you got to do that here, and it's not crime. It's it's where the car's coming from because they drive on the opposite side of the road from the
Scrape your knee
U.S.
on something. You're
It's-
gonna trip over things, fall in a hole.
Oh my gosh!
Almost did that.
Oh my gosh! The everywhere you go that we've experienced so far, which is really only 2 places, but where we've gone throughout the city, you've got uneven bricks in the sidewalk, so you could be walking along and it could look fine, and you rolled your ankle. They've got big gaping holes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Most of the time, there's something around it.
Most
but
of the time-
it's not completely around it.
I mean, one time we saw someone stuck a stick in the center of one of them and put a little those.
Empty water bottle on it.
Yeah,
A
and
plastic water bottle,
It's
yeah,
like-
just to kind of go, hey, we're here.
It's like, thank you for the warning.
Yeah.
Because
There's
you're
no
walking.
OSHA.
No, doesn't seem to be.
Nothing, anything like that.
Doesn't
here.
seem to be. So you're walking at night, and you just really have to be careful.
Yeah. But it's safe otherwise.
It's so
the
safe.
cars and
So
the
safe.
walking across the street and the sidewalks, riskiest thing you've got here.
Yeah.
You could, in the middle of the night, you could walk down the street and nobody's going to molest you, bug you, or anything.
No.
It's
It's so safe.
everybody's so friendly and it's so safe. And we've heard other people that have been here longer say the same thing. You just feel safe. I went out 2 days ago and it was kind of rainy. It was cruddy and Martha was working and I just walked. I wanted to go to the mountain, which was, I don't know, maybe a couple miles off to the south. Is it from where we are? I'm assuming.
I don't know.
And so, and I ended up by where the zoo was, and it's right by mountains. Of course, there's temples and everything there. But I'm just walking along, and people are so friendly. Every now and then you bump into somebody that barely knows English, but they're friendly about it. And all I know is hello and thank you. And sometimes I don't know what gender to do it in, but
We've heard a few different
there's
ways of doing
different
it,
stories
so
on this.
we need to find out. But so it is a really great country. And I mean, don't let some of the videos that you see fool you either. It's very modern. You go into the malls and you're just like, wow. I mean, it is
packed.
extremely modern.
Lots of people go to the mall.
Yeah, and
It's very popular.
I think
still.
you can see it in the airport too. They have some tech that I wish that we would use in the United States, in Asia. But anyway, so we stayed in 2 different areas of Chiang Mai. We stayed in the old city, and right now, the last few days, we did like 4 or 5 days in the Neiman district, which
we found a place with a better
nice. We're not going to get into the hotels.
bed. No, just the bed.
Okay. We've been very, very pleased with our accommodations.
Yeah.
We also stayed
It's
in
still inexpensive.
Hua Hin. Yeah, so we'll go over the amounts that we spent, but before we do, what do you think about, I mean, we're going to be going to the south of Thailand in December, so in the Phuket area, and we'll get a look at that too, but what are your impressions? Return?
Oh yeah, oh definitely. I like it
Yeah.
here. I mean, just in Chiang Mai, being here a month, we've barely scratched the surface on things to do and see.
Yeah.
Never saw the zoo. We did go to one of the elephant sanctuaries. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, we didn't see the tigers.
There's museums, there's parks, there's a reservoir where I was hoping to go to yesterday, but we didn't have the time. And it gets hot. And, maybe come at a time that is so hot, and Martha won't mind. I don't mind so much the heat.
So
but,
hot.
when it's
So
97
hot.
degrees and the humidity's up there, it's like Houston.
It's
It
really
can get
brutal. It's like Houston in the middle of summer.
Yeah,
is
and
what it's like.
we're here. What is it? May coming on to June.
It's May, so it's going to get worse.
Yeah,
and
you got
I
two
can't
more months
imagine
for
worse.
the mid because they're above the.
I can't imagine worse.
Equator, so it's.
You spend the whole morning walking out there. You're absolutely drenched with sweat, and you're nauseated. At least I am. When I get really hot like that, I'm nauseated and I don't want to eat. I think I would have lost a lot of weight with all the walking and the not eating, but no.
Well, it's the other thing too is I haven't really. I'm usually a bugs like me. They always did, mosquitoes especially, but I haven't been really bothered that much here.
I have been.
I'm not sure why.
I have been. I've been
like
bitten.
Italian food.
Yeah, I've been bitten a lot. But okay, so I think that Thailand from both of us gets 2 thumbs up.
It's been awesome.
It just totally awesome.
Like the beach better.
Yeah. The other thing is, now a disclaimer: we love Thai food.
Oh yeah.
Love Thai food.
But it isn't always necessarily spicy.
Right. I cook
hot. And spicy, I like hot. Sometimes,
Right. And I cook a lot of Thai food or Thai curry. Really, I only cook a couple things in of Thai cuisine, but I do cook a lot of Thai curry at home. It's a great clean out the refrigerator dish, and it's ready quickly because we have the prepared paste.
Love the curries.
And so we just love Thai food. Well, you know what? 30 days of Thai food from morning,
you want a burger,
noon, and night, and I kind of reached my limits. I was like, I want a burger.
You don't think you want that. You think I'm going to that country, I'm going to eat that food, but no, it's funny.
You
start
get
craving
tired
some
of it.
beef or a hamburger or even pizza, and there's plenty of that around.
They got plenty of Western food around, and honestly,
it's not bad.
Anything you want, you can get. We've seen Korean, we've seen Jamaican, we've seen Chinese, Indian, Burmese, which we found out was Burmese food is fantastic. So anything you want, burgers. There's different where they only serve fries.
What was that name of the place in the mall we went to? It was just like a steakhouse. They had burgers, and we had
Duke's.
Duke's, that's what it was called.
Duke's.
It was just like any burger you'd find in a.
It was like a TGI Fridays kind of thing, but we both got these quite large burgers actually.
And the prices were still lower than the States, but they're higher than what you would get for Thai food.
Plus he had the equivalent of 2 beers.
Yeah.
And I had water, I think. But we both only spent it was only $24 for our meal.
In the States now
you
it would have been
$60. This was a really good burger.
These burgers are like running 15 to 20.
Yeah, at least in a sit down.
Where we were, and I can't imagine what they are
in a sit down restaurant, and that's for everything. That's for everything because the tax is already calculated.
Yeah, there's no
tipping. There's no tipping unless you want to. So it was $24 equivalent for us to eat out. Now for here, that's super expensive.
Yeah.
And I counted that in one of our nicer dinners, meaning that they were like more westernized or a different cuisine, not Thai cuisine. But you can go down the street in Thailand and you can get an incredible meal for like $2.
It's really weird when you hit an $8 meal and you're like, wow, that was expensive.
Wow, that was too much. All right, so let's talk about how much Thailand cost. And first of all, a disclaimer. I had to do a couple of things with these figures. First of all, we have overlapping accommodations because I paid for our first hotel for the whole month. And then we decided, hey, let's go down to Hua Hin. So for those 5 days, we were double paying. And then we decided to try another section of the city, the Neiman district, for the last 4 days that we were here. And so we got an Airbnb condo, so we were double paying for that. So a third of the time that we were here, basically, well, no, a quarter of the time that we were here, we were double paying.
And
You know,
what is the monthly total though? We're
So-
still under like 1,500.
well, that's
for the month.
that's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
So there's that factor that we were double paying on accommodations, and then also I had to kind of extrapolate what our food costs are because we did fly our 2 grandkids and our daughter to join us,
From
and
Australia.
so yeah, there's a couple things with that. First of all, we only eat 2 meals a day. That's what we do, typically. So we were eating 3 meals a day because we had growing boys with us. So, you know, we had to eat 3 meals a day.
You got their
So-
hotel too. We covered that one.
Yeah, we covered the
And
hotel.
we
But
paid
that
for the
isn't that isn't included in here. So our food costs would be a lot less than what I'm about to share because we really only eat 2 meals a day. And then our accommodations would be a lot less because we double paid for 8 or 9 nights. Okay, so let's go into the first is housing, and I'm going to have it on the screen here as well. Housing, our total for the entire month was $886. That was 23 nights in hotels. 30 nights in one hotel, 4 nights in the other hotel, and then 4 nights in a condo, in an Airbnb condo in a real nice area. The Neiman district is rather upscale. So per day, that still only works out to $30, which is crazy. It's crazy. And it's because our first hotel in the old city was, I think, $17 a night. And it was a nice hotel. I mean, it just had a really hard bed.
Hard bed.
But I don't want to
lumpy.
go into the, like I said,
If
I'm going
push
to
came
do.
to shove, you could go out and spend $50 on a pad and,
Yeah.
and just
You could
cover it.
you
and
could
it would've
take
been
care of
fine.
it. And
the
they
hotel
were
was great otherwise.
They were wonderful. We would stay there again in a heartbeat if we just can work around that mattress issue. And the
if
mattresses.
you want a few months where you're cutting costs,
Yep.
great place. And the food there in the old city is a lot cheaper than where we ended up in this district
It's
here.
so good
Not
too.
by a lot, and you can find cheaper food here if you want.
Yeah.
But
It's really good.
But
Now-
you know, you're going to a new place, and if you like to experiment like we do, it's you come across something different, and it's like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that, and you end up spending more than you thought on things that are just different. And yeah, like what was the fruit we got the other day?
Jackfruit. I like it.
Jackfruit.
He doesn't.
Well,
It's
I mean,
a texture
okay.
thing.
It was
It's a
okay.
texture thing.
It
He
was
doesn't.
very
It's
odd.
like a soft green pepper texture. He's not crazy about
It
it.
tastes sort
I
of
like
like
it.
a pear that's not
Yeah, it
quite
tastes
as
kinda like a
sweet,
pear.
but it's
Okay, so to move on,
leathery.
we did take a lot of grabs, and again,
Yeah.
that
lot
is
of grabs.
because we had the littles with us, and so there were places that we wanted to go that
And
we
we found
felt
the
would be a
tuk-tuks
lot
weren't
to
always
walk.
cheaper. Sometimes they were more.
They're not always cheaper. So our grabs came up to $112, and I tip a grab driver.
Especially
So-
when they drive like Mario Andretti.
My gosh. All right, so I tip my grad drivers, and
impressive.
so that worked out to about $3.86 a day in grab rides. So, you know, if it were just us, like in the beginning before the kids came, we really weren't taking hardly any grab rides. I don't think we took hardly any at all.
No, we walked a lot.
Yeah, we just walked.
Because you explore.
So, and now we've only taken grab rides like
More
to and
because it
from
gets hot and
to and from
you
the
don't wanna walk
airport.
anymore.
To and from the airport, and then
Yeah.
yesterday we took a grab to a mall that was just too far to walk in this
Yeah.
heat. But you know, other than that, we just really stay in our neighborhood when we walk. We really try not to use grab, except for the airport days.
Yeah.
Okay, food. This is higher than it would normally be. So for the two of us, and this includes alcohol. Lou likes to have his beer. At least
The
a
beer
couple,
is inexpensive.
at least a few.
You go local.
Yeah, at least a couple a day. But this includes
Not
alcohol.
at least. Yeah, sometimes.
We have 2 of those big Changs.
I get the last 3 days. But
Yeah.
I
So
did before that.
no, and I didn't put it in here for every single day you having beer, but it includes beer. So it's $873 is what we spent on food. That works out to $30 a day, or $15 per person. So obviously, if you're not a drinker, not that he spent tons, but if you're not going
It's
to
not
drink,
that
it will come
expensive, but
down.
Yeah, it comes down.
It will come down. And
Probably
then
$5-6 maybe.
yeah, probably $5 a day. It'll come down if you're not having any beer. But also, like I said, we normally
depends on how
eat
much you drink it.
two. Yeah, we normally eat 2 meals a day, and not 3. And then the other part of that food that includes 4 times that we went out for what I would call nicer meals. So one of those was $40 at a Burmese Indian fusion place.
Oh, we went to town there though.
Oh my gosh.
Appetizers.
The food we
I
got
had
for
2 beers,
$40.
and we had food for 2 days.
Yeah, it was still a really good deal. So that was more than 1 meal worth.
It's just that we that was our first change from Thai food
Yeah.
to something different, and we just kind of went to town. Ooh,
It was
I
a
wanna try
couple
this,
weeks
I wanna
in. It
try
was
that.
so good.
We had like 3
we love Indian
appetizers,
food.
2 main courses.
We really love
dessert.
Indian food. Yeah. And then the burgers were $24, and then we had a couple more meals that were a higher price. So those are all in there. So I estimated about $120. And to mention, we did get some groceries the last day that we were, or the last stay in the condo. And it was $24 for the groceries, and that fed us for 4 days, right?
Yeah.
For 4 days. I mean, we had a treat or two out just because we were at the mall and we wanted ice cream. But for 4 days, that paid for our meals for $24, and that was buying them at a convenience store. We would have saved money if we had gone to a regular grocery store, a Lotus, or a local market.
We found one down the street, but it was yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. So we really only just got cucumbers and tomatoes. But the food is extremely inexpensive here. So $24 was what we spent for convenience store meat, including chicken.
Yeah.
So you're paying more than you would, and it was probably about $1 a pound.
But it still seems like it might
breast.
be cheaper
It was-
to go out to eat in some places.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. It's kind of a toss-up. If you're going to go out and eat Thai food, it's cheaper just to eat out than to buy your food. But if you, we were getting to a point where we're like, okay, I just want something sauteed. That's all I want. Or, I want a big salad or something like that. Then just buy it. The ingredients the groceries are very cheap.
I eat a lot of eggs too, so we went and got some raw eggs. It's sometimes tricky to find, but you can find them.
Oh, you can find them. And honestly, if you go to the local market, they are cheap. So they're like a penny an egg.
They give you a bag. They're in like a big plastic bag.
Yeah, they're like a couple pennies.
Because they keep the cartons.
We found some. Yeah, so the best price that we've gotten was the market
yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday. It was 36 baht, which is $1, and it was 10 eggs. So 10 cents an egg.
No, I found them once for 4.
Well, that was the lady. Okay, so he found this lady
4 cents an egg,
who sold him 36 eggs in a plastic bag.
Big plastic bag.
There was no.
They're not washed.
Structural integrity at all. The fact that he made it home with 36 eggs in a plastic bag and none of them broke. I don't know what to say for that. But anyway, that was the cheapest we ever bought them. So it's 3 cents an egg.
Yeah. 4. It's 4.
3 or 4 cents an egg.
4.
Okay. So for clothes, we did buy some more clothes. This is our test trip, and so we don't really have our traveling wardrobe down. And frankly, we found that we're carrying way too much. And
it's just funny, you want to buy more.
Yeah, we bought more because we needed cooler clothing.
Yeah,
it was so.
You see what people are wearing, and you look at it, and you go to these markets, and it's like $2 for a shirt, or actually less than some of them. I got a couple tank tops for $1, and but then there's these shorts that are more cotton and yeah.
So we estimated about $40 in clothing. We got a lot for that $40. So then, lastly, we did take 3 tours, and 2 of those we did with family. But I'm including them because I think we would have done them anyway.
Yeah.
So the first one was a tuk-tuk tour that we took on day 4 here in Thailand. We figured we wanted to get a ride on a tuk-tuk around the old city and kind of get our bearings as to where we were and where everything else was. And this tour actually included some visits to Watts are temples, some visits to Watts that we would not have known about. We wouldn't have known about Silver Temple because it wasn't in the old city. It was actually outside of the old city. So we would have stumbled onto that one. And that one was quite the sight. It was amazing. And then, the Three Kings Monument, which the history of that was fantastic. So we really enjoyed the tuk-tuk tour. It included taking everybody, when the kids were here, to the elephant sanctuary. That we might not have done, just the two of us.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we did. It was so much fun. I have to say, it is a...
It wasn't the tuk-tuk tour.
No. This is the second tour to the elephant sanctuary.
Yeah.
And, we did it for the boys. We thought they would just love it. They're 12 and 5. And it's a little disconcerting when you're standing there and holding a little bowl of watermelon and you've got these elephants running at you.
Right up.
Running
Quite a few of them, too.
It's a wake-up call.
Made Branson a bit nervous. The little one, he has no fear. He has no fear. Holding it up.
He was all about the elephants. And then the last one was a cooking class that I did with my daughter, which was so much fun. And I'm so excited to know that I can make my own curry paste now, because Lord knows I've bought enough of it. So we would definitely do those again. So our total here in Thailand for the month came to $2,044. Per day, that works out to $70 for us, and per person per day, it's $52, because you're still paying the accommodation cost, you're still paying for the Grab ride. You do save, of course, on the clothes and the food and the tours, because those are usually per person. So $2,000 a month is so inexpensive for the experience that we had. Like I said, it would be even less, but
if you wanted it, you can definitely do it.
We double paid for accommodations. You would be taking less tuk-tuk or less grabs. You probably wouldn't do 3 tours in 1 month, kind of thing. So
the tours you can get up there.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily do, we think, a month in Chiang Mai for $1,500 or less, easily, for 2 people. Now, one of the reasons why we jumped around this month, which is what cost you more, is that this is a test trip for us. So the whole point of the test trip is to, see how low can we go in our accommodations and still be comfortable, and and where do we want to eventually be if we come back to the city?
When we come back, which place?
So we tried a couple different places, and then we took the opportunity to go down to Wahin and see the beach, because my beach bum was missing his beach.
Yeah.
But
I like the beach.
So that we learned a lot about ourselves in this trip. We learned that having a couch is a big deal to us. And to me, it's a big deal to me. We learned that having a kitchen is a big deal to us. To be able to make eggs in the morning, or if I want to have a big old salad for a meal with some meat on it, I can cook the meat in the kitchen, and I can have a huge I eat huge salads, and those can be hard to get in other cultures. They'll give you a little salad, they'll put a little bit of meat on it, but we learned a lot about ourselves. I think learned a lot about ourselves. Mattresses are important.
Yes.
Yeah, so we learned that.
Actually, no, you didn't like the mattress either. So.
I'm not going to go into it here, because I'm going to be doing, but watch when it comes up. I'll be doing the review of the hotel. The hotel actually was great.
Yeah, it was an awesome hotel.
We would recommend the hotel. We have a reason that we don't do as well with very, very hard mattresses, and the Thais have a reason that they exist. So, so anyway, so we did it for $2,000, which, when we actually begin to travel in earnest, our budget will be $4,000. So this is very easily doable for us. And we love it.
Comfortably so.
We could have done I don't even know what else. What else would we have done to spend more money? Maybe gone to a movie.
Well, and maybe a short gym membership,
Yeah, short gym.
something like
Of
that.
course, you can
If we stayed
exercise
long
in the
enough.
park. You can.
Yeah, but I'd rather have my weights and stuff, and you can
Yeah.
find it, but and I don't imagine it's real expensive. But we didn't look at that this time
Didn't-
because
That
I
might
mean
be.
it's just a month. But then
That might be $30 a month per person. So I mean, I don't
maybe
know.
it's that much.
Maybe. I mean, for an air-conditioned
I
gym.
mean, you can get stuff that cheap in the States.
For
It's
an
gotta
air-conditioned gym.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find
We'll
out.
look at that.
But anyway, you know,
Something we
we
didn't
learned
do
a
this
lot. We found that Thailand is definitely doable. You
It's
know,
a fun place.
definitely fun. People are beautiful.
It's hot in the summer.
I don't know if you can hear that, but they're starting and working again on the place next door. So it's loud. It can be noisy here. But at the same
This
time,
place not bad. It's quiet at night.
yeah, at the same time, people
Even
are
the
so
airplanes don't bother me.
people are so wonderful. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed our analysis of Thailand. We're heading out today, and we're going to be hitting Istanbul,
It's gonna be a long day.
and we're going to end
Yeah.
up in Spain. So so anyway, if you like this type of content, please do like and subscribe. And thank you again
And
for
she buys
joining
me
us.
the shirts, so
Yeah.
I have lots of shirts.
He likes his shirts. Please
I'll
like
wear
and
more shirts.
subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. And God bless. Bye. Hang on. I gotta use your. Where's your power bank? This is about to run out of power. Where is
It's
it?
in here. It's in here.
Slice this.
Can I pick my nose now?
No. Okay. So, where's I at?
It's a great shirt. It's my favorite. My airport shirt.
He likes getting attention.
Wow, it's just making people smile.
Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this type of content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate you joining our adventures. Have a wonderful day. God bless.